So the new frame has arrived. As you can see, it's got a SMA mount for the VTX. I've modified this VTX so I don't need to use an adapter or anything. Keep it nice and light. Actually fits pretty well. The standoff does clear there, which is awesome. So that's going to work well. As you can see, or not see, I don't know. There is enough space for a lot of camera tilt. Like, that's probably about the tilt that I'll end up with, just because I don't want it to be too crazy. So yeah, that is the frame, and yeah, they were just sitting there. The cutting is not actually as good as I was hoping, but it doesn't matter because it's going to fly well. I don't know, for some reason this is all notchy, like it's got flat spots, as in like maybe the program they're using to render the cut or whatever. I don't really understand how it works, but yeah, it's not perfectly round anyways, but it doesn't matter because it's still really, really tough and it still looks pretty cool. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just using the standard bracket for that camera. I could 3D print something, but I don't know. We'll see how we go. So I've got the little bees there, the 3100 kV motors. So I guess the next step is going to be to like mount this in there and wire everything up. This frame is a little bit heavier than the old ET. I think it was like 10 grams heavier or so. It's actually smaller if you want to fit through gaps this way. So if I line those motors up, then you'll see the ET is actually a little bit longer that way. And obviously that's all that really matters because, yeah, like they say, oh, it's an ET 150, it's 150 from here to here. But who cares? This is like 150 from, oh sorry, it's 152 from there to there. It's actually thinner, so you can fit through tighter gaps. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, on with the build. So just working on this little frame. Had the little bees all soldered up, all heat shrunk, looking good. And there's one that doesn't work. Super annoying. Tried a different motor, same problem. It just doesn't even have the startup beeping, I guess. So it's not even giving anything to the motor. Tested the power there with a multimeter, and that's getting voltage fine. These connections seem fine, seem to be getting continuity. So what I'm going to do is steal 4 of the ESCs from this project, SN20s, and just go with that. So there you go. I thought I should get a shot of the completed inside before I close it up. So I haven't actually made in this or even tested it properly yet, so hey, I could be pulling it apart again. But anyway, micro minimal SD, Afro Mini Naze 32, D4R2, Sony Superhad standard, 2040 chip camera, video transmitter, and yeah, that's about it. Pretty neat. Got the SN20A ESCs. Interestingly, I fired these up. Well, actually, when I had little bees on here before, I fired them up just without any props on, and I could hear them reaching the RPM limit on 4S. So that's 3100 kV motors. And when I put the SN20As on, I also tested them out, and they didn't reach the RPM limit. So I'm going to say it's actually a different firmware. I've definitely got the latest firmware on these. I don't know what's on the little bees. I should check though, because if it's the same firmware, then that kind of says something about the little bees, doesn't it? So at this point I've had quite a few flights with this new little frame. It's very similar in performance to the old ET. I mean, probably identical really. Obviously the ET is a little bit slower now that I've put the dual blades back on, but I still fly both of these frames a lot. Again, much the same as the ET, my favourite battery for this is the 850 milliamp 4-cell, the 3100 kV motors. So yeah, it's nice and quick still with about 6 minutes flight time. I did get 7 minutes at one point, but honestly, if you're flying hard, it's going to be between 5 and 6. So yeah, so I'll show you a video of this flying now.